Hello, everybody. Anybody in English? This is Olga from Costa Rica. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's 5 p.m. in Costa Rica. I already spoke twice today in Russian this morning, in French in the afternoon. Now I would like to share with you some information in English if there is somebody here who speaks English, and if you think that I can tell you something interesting, that if you think that you can discover thanks to me something interesting that you don't hear on other channels. Let's see. I would like to talk to you briefly today about the new moon in Aquarius of February 4th. Yes, I think there are 3 people, but I'll start talking. Yes. Sarah, you never assisted my French-speaking readings. Yeah, Estelle. Yeah, this is in English, not in French. I cannot speak French because it's for English-speaking people. You can watch my French live streaming, which is recorded. Okay, girls, I know that you speak French, but I cannot switch to French. I mean, I could, but this is not the purpose of this live streaming. And as I said this morning, like when I wake up in the morning and I have live streaming in Russian, I always like I'm still sleeping, you know, at 10 a.m. Then at 2 p.m. when I have my French-speaking audience, it's always too hot in my apartment. And coming by, you know, getting closer to 5 p.m., when I have my English-speaking audience, I mean, there's always these light issues. I have to fix it because, you know, here in Costa Rica at 6 p.m. it's already dark. It's not night, but it will get darker in 30 minutes. Okay, girls, I have very good news for you today about this gorgeous new moon in Aquarius and just magnificent transit aspects during the 2 weeks starting from the new moon. But first of all, I would like to tell you that, yes, thank you very much for your wishes that I received, you know, in personal messages on the 24th of January. It was my birthday, and yeah, I went live on YouTube, you remember, with the tarot readings. So it was a crazy day, and the next day, the day after, I went for 3 days. I took my weekend to the hot springs, but well, you know, it's very relaxing, but at the same time it's stressful because it's a big stress for your body, organism. Hot springs, volcano hot springs. No, French. It was 3 hours ago. No, this is for English speaking. Which date? What do you mean? Which date? Okay. So this, I always do live streamings in 3 languages. 10 a.m. in the morning, Costa Rican time, in Russian, then 2 p.m. in French, and 5 p.m. in English, always, whether it's tarot reading or a new moon, full moon astrological analysis. Today we'll talk about the new moon in Aquarius. But I would like to announce you that I'm going to, well, it's not something you know about that already. I will do tarot readings, tarot Lenormand readings in the format of live streaming for everybody, for all, every 3rd week. Like the next tarot reading in 3 languages within the same day will be organized, will take place on February 14th. Of course, the day of the St. Valentine's, Lover's Day, but on Facebook, because the people who use Facebook, others don't use Facebook, they prefer YouTube. But I cannot do this only on YouTube or only on Facebook. So I will alternate. February 14th, tarot reading on Facebook. March 8th, tarot reading in 3 languages on YouTube. Okay. Now, I still receive messages like, where is the promotion? Where is the discount? Where is the express tarot reading? My friends, you have 24 hours to ask me a small question in exchange to a symbolic contribution. 24 hours after the live streaming, not 2 weeks after. Then you have 48 hours, 2 days after the live streaming. I mean, I talk about tarot cards, not of the analysis of transits like today. You have 2 days to book an appointment in my agenda on my website with a discount for the basic reading of 30 minutes or 60 minutes with a discount. you have 2 days, not 2 weeks. Okay, so if some of you use Facebook, here is the link to the event on Facebook, tarot reading, love readings on Facebook, February 14th. Okay. Yes, Sarah, thank you for helping other people. Because people connect in the morning when I speak Russian, they say, oh, God, we don't understand Russian. So 3 times pause during the day in 3 languages. So Facebook event, love tarot love readings, and March 8 on YouTube. Now, what about this new moon? So it has its particularities, you know. First of all, so I will tell you, yes, the full moon the new moon in Aquarius will be formed, well, today is February 3rd, tomorrow on February 4th, the 4th of February, 1545 of Aquarius, 403, 16, or I always mix this time like American style, 4:03 p.m. or 16:03 p.m. Montreal time. Well, in France it will be 10 p.m. 03, right? So tomorrow in the afternoon for Montreal. And it has its particularities. First of all, I hope that you feel that the impact of the eclipses is behind, right? Normally we have to wait 4 weeks after the last eclipse of the season, like the entire lunar month, in order to, you know, to find ourselves, 100% out of the shadow of the eclipse. We remember that we had the lunar eclipse of the Aquarius on January 21st, 2 weeks ago. So 2 more weeks, please, until the next full moon. But we are already we are further and further from the eclipse, and well, in 2 months we will go through the middle point. But well, let's breathe for the moment. Let's take advantage of this transit situation. The eclipses are behind. Another thing, all the planets are still in the direct movement. There is not a single planet that is retrograde. Mercury will get retrograde in March, on the 5th of March. So during the next 4 weeks, get advantage of the direct movement of all planets of the solar system. It's very rare, when nothing is retrograde. So it's a perfect moment to start new projects, to get married, to, create a company, to start a new business, to sign agreements, contracts. Perfect moment, okay? So this is another particularity of the current transit situation. The next one. Do you know what was this date, the night from the 1st to the 2nd of February? The 1st and the 2nd of February. This is in the Christian tradition, it's the holiday of Saint Bridget. It's Imbolc. It's known as Imbolc. It's a Gaelic traditional festival, marking the beginning of spring, actually, because we are now on the halfway between the winter solstice and spring equinox. Winter solstice was on the December 21st, and spring equinox is the day when the sun enters the 1st degree, when the sun enters Aries, right, on March 20. So now we are in the middle of this period, halfway between these 2 strategic dates in the astronomical year. So Imbolc is a celebration of the purification and this is the birth of Earth. It's a powerful day for sorcery, like the last night was very powerful night. moment, you know, to do all kinds of magical rituals, like making you visualize your dreams and wishes. But it's, if you didn't know about that, actually you have a very magical night, upcoming night, the two upcoming nights, because you know the night of the new moon, you can also visualize your dreams and plans for the next lunar month. But Imbolc, it's one of the four main Irish, you know, Celtic holidays, festivals, a festival of beginning of spring. I don't know if you heard about that, Imbolc. And another thing is that this new moon in Aquarius on February 4th is actually the second new moon after the winter solstice of December 21st. And this day we celebrate the beginning of a Chinese New Year, the year of the pig. Okay, so actually, well, the eclipses are behind, but the new moon marks a lot of many strategic parameters, strategic moments. Okay, now what can I tell you about the upcoming two weeks? So Imbolc, the festival of Imbolc is behind, is just behind, almost behind the beginning of a new year Chinese calendar. All the planets are direct. We will have 4 ingressions. There will be 4 planets that will change signs during the next 2 weeks. The point of them, there is during if we trace the transit aspects during the next 2 weeks, we don't see not a single square or opposition, only conjunctions and sextiles, not even a single trine. You imagine? Not a single tense aspect. This is also it's rare. And the point of, well, there will be 2 conjunctions, Lilith the Sun and Lilith Mercury. It's very specific. Okay, I will mention it in a while. And the point of the new moon conjunction Sun Moon, they don't create tense aspects with other planets. Only sextiles. Sun, Moon create only sextiles with other planets. And the 2 rulers of Aquarius, Uranus and Saturn, they don't have neither tense aspects. Like, it's just, the transit situation is just perfect. So Saturn, the first ruler, Uranus, forms the trine with Venus during the moment of the new moon, and the second ruler, Saturn, is in sextile with Neptune. So all planets are direct, not a single square opposition. So it means that during the new moon, today, tomorrow, and during the first lunar day, suits perfectly, you know, for the visualization of the perfect lunar month. You have to check which house of your chart receives the projection of the new moon. It means that in this sphere of life, you may make new plans, and in these lunar months, you will succeed totally, you know, in your, you will achieve all your goals. Okay. Check in which house of your chart the new moon is projected, so we cannot let this chance escape. We must devote ourselves to, you know, calmly to the development of projects for the next lunar month, and we will have success. This is without any doubts, because the situation is just perfect. Okay, so I mentioned the new moon, yes, and another, well, the ingression of Venus in Capricorn is happening today. So I will mention it because it occurs almost the same time as the new moon. The Venus enters today in Capricorn. It will stay in this sign until the 1st of March. So illusions and idealism of the previous sign of Sagittarius give way to restraint in the manifestation of our feelings, rigor of judgment, and prudence. This is the moment of consolidation of you know, relationships. When if you had problem in the past, you can use the transit of Venus by Capricorn to make the partnership serious, okay, at least to work on this serious side, the serious people will become more serious, you know, in partnership exchanges. You can use this transit, you know, to sign agreements, to even to get married. But well, this is the general observation. If somebody has Venus retrograde in their birth chart, for you the better moment, or the better or the best moment to get married will be Venus retrograde is a transit. So this is just a general observation, okay? If you want to use elective astrology and to you know, find the best way and the best day, the best moment during the year to do something, to get married, to open a company, to start up a company, you have to consider a lot of different parameters. Just Venus in Capricorn direct is not enough, okay, to sign agreements and to get married. So the picture, the transit picture of the new moon is just perfect. I don't have other words to describe it, just perfect. Now, what happens with this conjunction Lilith, Sun, Lilith, Mercury? So on the 5th of February, Mercury will be in conjunction with Lilith in 2029 of Aquarius. If you don't get like crazy, don't panic. If you don't have personal planets that are touched, that could be touched by this conjunction Mercury, this transit aspect would be just a background aspect for you. But nevertheless, if you maybe you have the conjunction in your natal chart, so it's very interesting to comment on it. So in the best variant, in the best option of the conjunction Mercury Lilith gives the following scenario. So rumors will not have a negative impact on you, rumors, Mercury Lilith, but in a more negative variant, you can be intellectually seduced, because Lilith symbolizes dependence, like the card of devil in tarot deck, right? There's a risk of encountering danger during travel, but once again, not for everybody. For those who have maybe conjunctions of personal planets with this transit conjunction, you can become suspicious, and you can actually believe in rumors and gossips. I wonder how people with this conjunction in the birth chart they live. Do they have this constant obsession that somebody trying to harm them? Are they always suspicious? I think that yes. I know a woman who has Mercury with a Lilith in conjunction in Libra, and she's extremely mean. When she says something, this gets true. It becomes true, as if she was attracting negative events with her words, speech. So February 5th, Mercury in conjunction Lilith, but a couple of days later, February 9th, the Sun will be in conjunction of Lilith, with Lilith in 2053 of Aquarius. So here again, in the positive variant, no dark force, slander, or accusation will touch you or will affect your self-confidence, because you are above all that. But in the more negative variant, you may have, you know, you can be tortured by these spiritual doubts. You can be victim of disappointments because you have this internal spiritual emotional doubts. You can be invaded by duality, by the complex of guilt. But this is your perception of the reality, because Lilith, as a magnifying glass, deforms the objective vision of reality. So during this period of transit conjunction Sun Lilith, there's a risk of nervous crisis, like nervous breakdowns, hysterical states, and diabolical obsessions. But I exaggerate. But this is actually that, like, it's not evident, it's not obvious to live with the Sun conjunction Lilith in the birth chart. So now imagine there are people on this earth who have this conjunction in their natal chart, not obligatory in the same sign as the transit that is occurring now, like conjunction Lilith, Sun, and Aquarius, can be felt by those who have conjunction Sun Lilith in another sign than Aquarius, because here we talk about the principle of resonance, okay? So check your chart. Do you have Sun conjunction Lilith? So you will be affected by this transit. Obsessions, diabolical obsession. All right. Okay, what next? Between these two conjunctions, Mercury, Lilith, and Sun, Lilith, what other aspects do we have? Gorgeous aspects. February 8, Sun in sextile to Jupiter promises a good start to all our projects, beginnings. But if our projects, if they do not go too much against the generally accepted rules, the rules of society. February 8, Mercury in sextile with Mars, and February 9, Mercury in sextile with Uranus. A lot of sextiles, only sextiles during the next 2 weeks. So these 2 days, February 8 and 9, offer us a good opportunity to solve quickly and in our favor important work and education problems, to correct mistakes also. These are favorable days for everything related to medicine, diagnosis, and treatment. In the romantic sphere, it's a period of conscious action to build or to renew ties, relationship, to build new relationship or to renew the lost connection, to renew ties, to get back to the lost connection. Okay. Now, Sun, Lilith, I commented. February 10th, Mercury enters Pisces. It will stay in the sign of Pisces until April 17. So during this transit, the role of imagination, of intuition, and of our mood, and the mood that will change for sure, will increase. So idealism, dependence of decision-making on our subjective perception of reality, makes the transit of Mercury by Pisces a difficult period for rationalists. For those who have Mercury maybe in the signs of its rulership in Virgo or Gemini. So maybe if you have Mercury in Virgo, you won't be patient enough to listen to people who have maybe Mercury in the natal chart, Mercury in Pisces. They won't understand what they want to tell you. It will be too vague and too abstract, because their position of Mercury in Pisces and their birth chart will be waken up by the transit of Mercury by this sign. Okay. Now, my friends, I told you that I have only good news, and I have only good news for you. So look, so many sextile between the transit planets, but sextile, it's weaker than the trine, okay? A trine is here, you feel the collaboration, coexistence of two planets, okay? But sextile, you have to wake it up. It can stay like it can be sleeping, the aspect, you have to think, okay, this is the sextile of these two planets, so what should I do in order to wake this aspect, wake it up, and to get advantage of this transit, to use it. It's a little bit passive aspect, That's why in the predictions, sometimes I omit it. I don't use it because it's weak. So on the general background, this picture of plenty of sextiles as transit aspects, we have one extremely powerful conjunction that maybe this is the most remarkable, the most important transit aspect of the 2 upcoming weeks. And do you know what is that? This is the conjunction on the 13th of February, of March, because it's in French. I didn't translate this line. March and Mars. Mars conjunction Uranus in Aries, in the very last degree of Aries. And this is, I wanted to attract your attention to the following fact that this is the last conjunction of our life. I mean, not of the humanity, but you and me. This is the last conjunction of Mars and Uranus, unless we intend to live until 2096. The next conjunction Mars-Uranus will occur in 2096, in the last degree of Aries. For the past 8 years, almost for the past 8 years, since 2011, conjunction Mars-Uranus was covering us regularly, because Mars was retrograde, then Uranus was retrograde. Sometimes this conjunction was forming a square to Pluto. So Mars was in conjunction with the Uranus from time to time, many times during the last 8 years. So this time, this is the last, because Mars will move forward. It will enter Taurus in a couple of days, and it's faster than Uranus. So the next time they will conjunct, it will be in 2096. So it's extremely powerful conjunction in terms of energy, from energetical point of view. The power of Mars in Aries is painted by eccentric tones of Uranus. Something extremely exciting, extreme, revolutionary will burst into our lives, and maybe, you know, once again, there may be two different consequences, results. This transit can touch. It can be manifested as a genius, something genius, or on the contrary, like madness, you know, something unforgettable will happen. We can live revelations, insights, sudden revelations and insights, and of course with consequences. If something happens in our life during this transit, we will not forget it. Maybe never, or at least not during a long period of time in the future. It will stay forever in our memory. So separations, something that will enter our life, will be unforgettable in the future. And if we lose something, it will break up something or somebody. It will, the breakups will also change our life with the same probability, with the same level of probability. Now, in any case, this aspect brings violence, destruction, excessive radicalism, non-conformity, and at the limit of mania. But my friends, I want to attract your attention to one thing. If you don't have not a single planet, or in the ascendant, or another angular house of your chart in the last degree of Aries, this aspect will stay as a background aspect. Maybe it will have an impact on your neighbor, on your partner, and he will get crazy and he will become very violent, and he will put fire on your house. But it will not have impact on you personally, okay? But you will feel maybe in other people's behavior. But if you are born between April 18 and 20, it means that you will have the sun in the last degree of Aries. Regardless the year of birth, or if you have ascendant, the rising sun in the last degree of Aries, or you have personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars in the last degree of Aries, or, okay, more widely, if you have the personal planets, the ascendant, in the last degrees of other cardinal signs, not only Aries, but also Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, because in this case, the conjunction Mars-Uranus will form squares, square and opposition, opposition and squares to your personal planets or ascendant in other cardinal signs, right? It's less violent, but still, you can be touched by this conjunction. Check what do you have in the last degree of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Do you have ascendant and personal planets there? So you must pay close attention to the energy of these days. Okay? This is the most remarkable, the most powerful, the most violent transit of the upcoming 2 weeks. So February 14th, the day of the Lover's Day, Mars enters Taurus. It will stay in the sign until the 31st of March. And people during this transit become more reserved, more calm. They use the energy to ensure their own existence. They work a lot. They're focused on work, but at the same time, of course, they expect appropriate remuneration for their efforts, for their physical efforts, for their work. And yeah, very efficient work process you may expect from your employees if you are the boss. February 18th, the sun is in a sextile with Uranus, and these will be the days of greater emancipation, especially for those who are tired of emotional stagnation. Now, if you are tired, I'm tired of emotional excitement. I need like a break, not doing nothing during 24 hours, just staying on my terrace, you know. If you are tired of emotional stagnation, the sextile sun Uranus, you can will be profitable to you. So little spontaneity, even with the element of risk, will be profitable. But remember that there's almost the same day we have conjunction Venus, the planet of relationships, with the Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn, the planet that freezes everything that comes to hand. Okay, so the sextile conjunction Venus Saturn comes down a little bit, the sextile, the eccentricity of the sextile Sun Uranus. So February 18th, Venus is in conjunction with Saturn in 1646 of Capricorn. So it's a little bit sad as placement, as transit. Venus in Capricorn is already sad, you know. But in addition, it's in conjunction with the planet over that rules the sign. So qualities such as loyalty, reasonable restraint, conservatism, the ability to mobilize together even small resources and solve problems with these small resources will be emphasized. So people will become too serious. But you may have success in dealing with elderly people of a certain age, but if you have a young partner, and if you have Venus in Pisces, don't expect tender moments and emotional exchanges. No, forget Venus in Capricorn. A lot of, it's not a breakup, it's not about a breakup, it's just coldness and distance between partners. So some emotional stiffness can be felt. It's not the best time to confess feelings and to talk about your feelings with the partner, and you can't expect exchanges like heart to heart. So but this picture, the picture is softened a little bit by sextile Venus Neptune, like the day before on the 17th, but the effect of sextile Venus Neptune is too weak. The conjunction Venus Saturn will be more powerful. We will feel it stronger, better than the sextile Venus Neptune. All right. So February 18, the same day of the conjunction Venus Capricorn, the Sun enters Pisces. Happy birthday to all Pisces. It will be the next month until the ingression of the Sun into Aries on March 20th. We will live the month of secrets. A lot of secrets may be created around you. We become more sentimental. There will be desire to do a lot of good things to other people, those who are around us. Also, there will be desire to remain alone with ourselves, a lot of retrospection. Think about the meaning of existence and about our life, the purpose of life. To do what our soul longs for. And people engaged in arts, in creative professions, artistic creative professions, of course, they will have a lot of success in their work. Also, people who work as psychologists, who work in esoteric sciences like parapsychologists, psychic readers, mediums, tarot readers, those who are interested in non-traditional sciences. Yes, of course you can expect success in your professional activity. Also creativity, arts, psychic readings, and just think about the purpose of life and think about who you are, where you've been and where you go now. Because when the Sun will enter Aries, on the 20th of March, this ingression will mark the beginning of the astronomical year, the spring equinox. So from now until March 20th, we will go through the, now we are in Aquarius, Sun is in Aquarius, but when we will enter Pisces, we will go through the last zodiacal sign of the zodiacal circle, right? The 12th sign, Pisces, and with the ingression of the Sun in Aries, with the spring equinox, we will start like a new life from zero. The first zodiacal sign, Aries. We will use it energy, but now we have to use the energy of Aquarius and then of the energy of Pisces. We have to think about the archetype of these two signs. And the last thing is that, on the eve of the full moon in Virgo, on February 19th, all right, we will have, we said that Mercury will enter Mercury will enter Pisces. It entered Pisces, and it will be in conjunction with Neptune. You imagine Mercury in conjunction with the sign, with the planet, which is the ruler of the sign, where the conjunction is formed. So the 19th of February, on the eve of the full moon, we can, of course, expect a lot of beautiful illusions, imagination, you know. But we have to think about how to stay, however, realistic, how to be realistic and not escape in the world of illusions. Otherwise, there will be ugly consequences of our exaggerated trust and faith in the illusionary world. The sextile with the Saturn, Mercury Saturn will be in sextile on February 20th, just one day later, should prevent us from losing ourselves in illusions, and it will allow us to stay a little bit more reasonable. So in the context of the increased intuition and this very powerful, rich imagination, we may encounter practical difficulties when working with information. There may be oversights, confusion of ideas, clashes with misinformation, when you are misled by somebody, when you believe in lies, and you may be like manipulation attempts from other people. Other people try to manipulate you, or maybe you will be tempted by the idea to manipulate somebody else. So it's not desirable to conclude important agreements and to make decisions concerning material responsibility during the conjunction Mercury-Neptune in Pisces. But if you're an artist, if you want to paint something, you know, to create, just the word creates, what you've been creating, if you are in this field, professional field, of course will help to success. You will be inspired on 1000%. So this was it, my friends. This is what I wanted to share with you today. And all right, oh my God, people came up, so I didn't see the comments. I always come up with the English speaking version, always tired, like, because I give a lot to Russian speaking people and to French people. Okay, yeah, I think that people are coming up and they're asking questions, my friends. I don't know what. What can I answer? Aries, no, and Sarah, it will be conjunction Mars, Uranus. Yeah, because there are some planets that, you know, they are almost never in conjunction because of the speed of their transit. You imagine the speed of Uranus and the speed of Mars, and some of them, they from time to time they are retrograde. So, you know, it doesn't happen every like 5 years when you have the conjunction of these two planets. Yeah. Helen, North Node, what do you mean? In the last degree of Aries, where Uranus will form the conjunction with Mars, you have the node. God. I would like to be at your place. Helen, answer, because I'm certainly curious. Helen Bradley, do you have in the last degree of Aries, you have the node? North Node. And which house? Oh my God. Okay, maybe it takes time to write, I don't know. Anna. Sarah, I didn't read your comments before. 96. Sarah, yes. Sarah, they will be in conjunction in 2096. They will be in conjunction in Aries, of course. in Aries, not in another sign, but in the beginning of Aries, 533 of Aries. So it's like explosive. Yeah, well, if this conjunction, because this will be very violent, it's like, I don't want to frighten you, but conjunction Mars, Uranus in the last degree of Aries, yeah, if it touches your personal planet, just stay at home. Because it will, something may happen to you, like unexpected, or you will be just willing to kill somebody. Now, the node, no, Sarah, with the nodes, you have to consider the degree, the orb of 3 degrees for conjunction. It's too much if it's 20 degrees and it's the conjunction, the node is in 20 degrees and conjunction Sun Uranus in the 29th is too far. No, it has to be tight. It has to be 3 degrees, the orb. But if you have, somebody has the node, the north node in the 29th degree of Aries, it means that the situation, the transit situation will bring you some elements, will bring you something or somebody in your life, that will allow you, that will force you to accomplish your karmic program. If it was if it's the conjunction Mars Uranus with the south node Ketu, this transit can bring you somebody from your past life. I mean, you may meet somebody new, but this person wasn't the part of your life in the previous incarnation, something like that. North node in the 10th house. Helen, but your north node isn't exactly in the 29th degree of Aries. 10th house, so something will happen in your career, like you can be promoted suddenly. But any conjunction with the node is a karmic parameter. So if when you don't even expect things to happen, it happens in spite of your will, and you have just to face it and accept it. But it can be shocking, it can be unexpected, so you will not have even time to think whether I want it or not. But you will have to swallow it. Okay? My friends, I don't know. So this is it. So look, no, I mean that. But look, when you have the conjunction, transit conjunction, like now, Mars, Uranus with the nodes, yes, it's a karmic parameter. So it can bring people with whom you had a karmic connection in the past life or in this incarnation, but it's not as violent as conjunction with a real planet. It's just it's a fictitious point, the node. So the roof will not fall down on your head. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You see, it's just like there may be some context that you won't even feel immediately. Oh my God, this is the person from that I know the past life. No. You will discover it later. But in any case, the conjunction of the node with the Sun, with Mars and Uranus will activate something, maybe on a subtle level, but something will happen for sure. It will be developed, maybe developed a little bit later in a couple of months. Observe your situation. If I had something in the very last degree of Aries, I would have stayed home. I would stay at home. I would just observe what is going on. I wouldn't turn off my phone. I would see who is calling me, who is trying to reach me out. So besides that conjunction, look, all the planets are direct. The point of the new moon has only sextiles. The rulers of the new moon, of the sign of the new moon, have only harmonious aspects. Like, it's just perfect. It's rare that you have just this harmonious and perfect transit situation. So use the energies of this new moon to focus on your projects, on your plans in the sphere of life that corresponds to the house where the new moon is projected, you know? Because what you visualize today will become true, will come true, will become the reality, okay? So I think this is it. maybe I will share. Yes, I think that I will share with you this. So maybe for those who came up in the very last moment, on the 14th of February, there will be live with the tarot cards, love readings with the tarot cards on Facebook. And March 8 on YouTube. So I will share once again here the event on Facebook. And I changed the page of my school, my website. I modified the design of my school. So if you want to look at the astrology school, here you go. So this is it. Have a nice Sunday evening. Happy new moon. And yeah, sorry, those who join me, French-speaking people who always join me late, check my agenda, the event that I create on my YouTube page channel. I always create them like at least 1 week in advance, so you know what time you have live streaming in French. But I always have live streaming in French for the cards or for the transits at 2 p.m. Costa Rica, which corresponds to 9 p.m. Paris time, European time. Okay, so take care of yourself and talk to you. Hope to see you on Facebook on February 14th for love readings. Okay, bye bye.